Welcome back to another Charlotte Legacy League Vintage Edition with Jewel Shops vs. Doomsday. A huge thank you to the Patreon supporters who are helping the league and YouTube channel. If you would like to become a supporter, please click on the link in the show notes.
If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.
The game number one, both of us have kept 7, and I am on the play, leading off on an Ancient Tomb into a Soul Ring, Manifold Key, and a Black Lotus. Seems like a pretty good start from yours truly. We'll see how this plays out in these vintage turns coming up. As you know, we've been dabbling in vintage, Hunter and Andres a bit more than myself, but I do try and keep up even though it doesn't usually go very well for me. Hunter leading off on his own Black Lotus and Mox Jet, Kai Salvatari proxies. So be sure to check those out if you haven't already. And I lead off on a Vexing Bauble there, or not lead off, but play a Vexing Bauble. We see an Undercity Sewers from Hunter off the fetch, and he immediately bends a Doomsday, which is usually bad news for me, because if he's bending a Doomsday, that means that he already has one in hand. He does have an Ancestral Recall, another Kai Salvatari proxy. You can pick those up from him and special order them, so they aren't everyday proxies, but they are beautiful nonetheless. I should try and get the artwork, so when Hunter is actually playing on this, I guess, streams / videos, we can have the appropriate art for him. So we've got a Dark Ritual, and here comes that Doomsday that we were discussing. I try and do something a little tricky here and go for a Sink into Stupor on the Black Lotus to try and get him to where he it's not on the battlefield, so he can't win this turn, hoping that I can turn the tide after the fact. So I'm adding my up my mana here to figure out what I've got going on, and we're discussing how many spells have been cast, because I'm asking about a Flusterstorm. Here's me reacting to the Doomsday with the Sink into Stupor, bouncing the Black Lotus. If Black Lotus does go back, then we do have a chance for him not to be able to cast that because we have the Vexing Bauble in play. He's debating on whether he wants to sack that to either, it doesn't make sense to force negation, it just makes sense to float the mana. And realistically, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was thinking that, like, I could just Sink into Stupor twice or something like that. But he does have the mana available. I didn't know he had the Consider and the Oracle already in hand. So considering here, if he went for like straight Street Wraiths here, there's one. And if he chooses to like just Street Wraith all the way through, and then Consider once, he's kind of got me. So we're going to see a Thassa's Oracle. No mana in the pool, only 1 mana available. I decide to hope and pray that a Vexing Bauble can get me done here. It just has a Force Negation and a Chain of the Vapor, so he can Chain of the Vapor me or Force of Will or Force of Negation me, and he has a Force of Will and Force Negation, so I'm kind of in deep shit. So I go for the PO, and then I believe he's going to Chain of Vapor back my Soul Ring, and because if he forces this here, he wins the... Well, he can't force because I have the... Alright, that's this whole fucking line here. Is I have the Vexing Bauble out, and I'm an idiot by not even knowing what I have in play. So, no blue mana from him. He could just Chain of Vapor my Vexing Bauble, and then Force of Will. But it looks like he's going to... Chain of Vapor, yep, Chain of Vapor on the Soul Ring. And then I only get to draw 2 cards off of the PO. So 2 back. And if I do find a Force and a blue card, I'd be in great shape. I do not find those. I find an Ancestral Recall, but I only have colorless mana floating, so doesn't really do me too much good there. So reminds me that it is colorless mana, not blue, that's floating. Let them know what my hand is and pass it on. See you in game number 2.
If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.
To game number 2 after a semi-quick loss from Hunter on his Doomsday deck. We're going to find out if Lodestone Golem is going to resolve. He's going to cycle a Street Wraith, and that Force Negation does not allow him to get rid of the Lodestone Golem. That's a big plus, considering they sideboard in. Now, these are sideboarded games as well, so we're not just playing a bunch of game 1s here. Every match, or every game you see from here on out will be a sideboarded game. Spoiler, if you're not, if you haven't already noticed, there's going to be more than one, or more than 3 total games in this match. We play multiple sideboarded games after the game 1s. That way we can get more practice with our sideboarded games. Win or lose, we always try and play a couple extra sideboarded games so we get to feel more of our deck with the sideboard. But we have 2 Lodestone Golems out, putting us in great position here. We attacked for 10, goes down to 4, got a Time Walk. See you in game number 3. Both of us on 7, Hunter's on the play this time in game number 3. Leads off on a Scalding Tarn. Let's see if I can have a lightning fast start the way I did last game. And 2 mana, putting on a Mana Vault. And we've got a Trinisphere on the stack. 1 mana is floating. We have a Steel Sabotage, getting rid of that Trinisphere and follow up with a Mox Diamond. And I think I was playing around the Mindbreak trap there, which is why I held back that Mox Jet, not Mox Diamond. You can tell I'm used to playing lands. I held back that Mox Jet because I didn't want to get Mindbreak trapped. Cycle of the Street Wraith. Land number 2 for Hunter, and a pass back over to me. Take a damage off of the Mana Vault. During my upkeep, find a PO, which is not bad, but I do need a blue source. I do have a blue source in hand, and we're going to play the Sulphur Springs. Not Sulphur Springs, Jesus, that's not what that card's called. I even struggled with this last time. Anyway, the back of the Sink in the Stupor. Don't remember what that's called at the moment, but we see Hunter pitch away a Gush, which is not a bad thing for us to see, because now he's not going to gush on us, and I consider that an absolute win. So, at the moment, we are holding up a Howling Gates. In case we get Doomsdayed or something along those lines, we can instant speed without counter magic, be able to get the Oracle off the battlefield if there's more than 3 cards or 2 cards in the library, or more than 0 cards in the library. If you were to do that on us, we do land a Hull Breacher, which is pretty detrimental to the Doomsday deck because they do rely on drawing a lot of cards off of the Doomsday pile. So he is ready for the Doomsday and can easily play it. It looks like he has a Dig Through Time potentially. And yep, he's going to go through the Dig Through Time. I'm going to try and Force Negation that at this point. He has Fluster and Spell Pierce and Force Negation of his own. So no need to blow out, I guess, a Force Negation into my Force Negation, potentially. Just letting him hold back that Spell Pierce. I am Spell Pierce proof, and at the moment I'm also Flusterstorm proof, but not both. So we're going to see Spell Pierce first, which I'll gladly pay for. Force Negation still on the stack, and now he's going to fluster it with plenty of spells on to storm off. My Ancient Tomb is not nearly enough. This Dig Through Time is going to resolve, and he's going to look at the top 7 cards of his library, see what he finds off of it. Picks up 7 there. And he's going to take a Force Will and a Mox Sapphire, playing out the Sapphire this turn. So he does still have Force Blue card. He does still have Doomsday in hand. So we could see him try and go for it next turn. With that Gush being in the graveyard, he would have to put it back into his pile to be able to make that work. 3 damage coming across. The Gush actually doesn't work because we have the Hull Breacher still holding up a Talon Gates, as well as now we have a Force with a PO to pitch. So we're going to have double interaction here for Doomsday. This is going to put him down to 5 life, I believe. Let's see. And put them in any order. Yeah, pay half your life total rounded up. So yeah, I'll go to 4 life because he's at 9. Which means the Hull Breacher is a 2-turn clock. He's got a Time Walk there with, and we know he has an Oracle on hand as well. So we let the Oracle resolve. The only way that this would be no, we don't let it resolve. Sorry. The only way that would have been detrimental to us is if we well, how would that be detrimental? If he had, like, I guess Street Wraith kind of thing, and we didn't try and force it. But even then, the trigger's still in the stack. Can't draw through everything. So Force of Will versus the Force of Negation. I chose to Force of Will, losing a life. Here I could Talon Gates, I suppose. Actually, do we even have Talon Gates? I guess we have the Ring. I thought we had Talon Gates in his hand for some reason. We're going to see a Time Walk. Oh, we do have a Talon Gates. Okay. So, yeah. He's going to pack it up, and we'll see you in game number 3. I was showing him the Talon Gates. Now we're going to start game number 4 and see what we can do with this one. Got a Mana Crypt into a Monolith into an Urza Saga. Pass that back over to Hunter. He's going to fetch. He's going to get just an actual Underground Sea this time. He's going to consider and continue playing. So we typically play these matches before our Legacy League match, our Legacy matches. So I'm currently just signing people up. So that's why I get up and trust him completely to make the best plays while I'm not sitting there. He's nice enough to actually show us on camera what he does draw off of it. Not quite pitched enough for us to see, but it looks like a Dark Ritual of some sort of Mox and something else. I'm not sure what the last card is. Oh, it's a Street Wraith. Okay, so Dark Ritual, Street Wraith into a Mox. So we're going to untap, roll for damage. Odd is damage, and we get there. So now we've got a little bit of everything going on. We've got an Urza Saga. We have 6 mana, and we're able to play our Jewel here. So funny enough, I was debating on not playing this Emerald here. And the reason why I was debating on not playing this Emerald is because I wanted to play around Mindbreak Trap if I could, because I have the Force of Will for his Force Negation. So his Force Negation, but there's my 3rd spell here. And he's going to just drop a Mindbreak Trap on my head. And that's exactly what I didn't want to happen, because I was trying to play around Mindbreak Trap. Failed miserably at playing around the Mindbreak Trap, though, and now I regret all of my decisions. Especially since we could have detected some fun, and we also had a Phyrexian Metamorph in our hand to keep on going. He probably would have hit the Phyrexian Metamorph, but there's a potential that we would have had another counterspell. And we're just going over that particular line is what we were talking about. And he's got a double fetch here with a Dark Ritual into a Doomsday, and shows me a Street Wraith. I pack it up. We're going to go to game number 6. Game number 6, have a Workshop into a Mana Vault, into a Jewel. So this Mox Jet should have been tapped. I didn't have enough mana to... Oh, no, I did have enough mana, sorry. Because the Jewel... No, sorry, not the Jewel. I'm going to tap there. So 1, 2... Tap, untaps 3. 1 mana. Okay, yeah, we had 1 artifact mana floating still from the workshop, which is why I was able to cast that jewel. No fun was detected there. We're going to see a Doomsday. Let him go off of that because I don't have the counter spell, but I don't believe he has the win here, so we have a little bit of time. We're going to go for an untapped mana vault. No, take 1 from the mana vault, sorry. But we do have another jewel, so we can detect a little bit more fun and try and go off from here. So here comes another jewel. Fun will be detected. And we are on our way. We do have a Phyrexian Metamorph in our hand, so we're able to cast Phyrexian Metamorph. Oh, sorry, not a Metamorph. We have a PO in hand. We're able to PO back for 4. I probably should have only PO'd for 3, because typically you want to leave that jewel in play in case you do draw a Metamorph. I do not believe we did draw the Metamorph there. And now we get to replay some artifacts and try and win another way. So jet into our vault. And then we have our own time vault with 1 mana floating. There's the Mindbreak Trap yet again. And that's me being like, well, shit. Because I could have won. He's got the Doomsday pile still looking treacherous to me. So I have to find another way around it. So I'm thinking about what's in my hand, trying to decide what I could do. Remembering that I have 1 colorless mana available to me. And the time vault is exiled. Finding a Karn would be ideal here. And we do have the Metamorph as well. But we're not able to play a jewel. But we do have a ring in hand. So that is a plus. So we got our Grim Monolith, 1 mana still floating. Drop a ring into play. And then next turn, if we get a next turn, we're in pretty good shape. Ring in play. While the protection counter is on the stack, we go ahead and draw a card just in case we had a blue mana available for Ancestral Recall, which we don't. But we did find another counter spell, which is a big plus. We got a Street Wraith coming, another Street Wraith coming, and then he's going to fetch. He knows where the last card is. And then we'll see a Thassa's Oracle. I've got the Force of Will, pitching the Metamorph. And now we get to untap with our ring, as well as we do have another jewel in hand with the Phyrexian Metamorph. So untap there, take 2 damage, or lose 2 life, I should say. 1 from the ring, 1 from the Mana Vault. Give that ring the old tap. Maybe, and draw some cards. Yes, we will. Pick up 2 fresh cards, find another Mishra's Workshop. Now fun can be detected again, and that is going to resolve. We now have enough mana, or enough cards in our hand to basically force will, force negation, if we need to, depending on what the last card in hand is. Do potentially have 6 mana available to us as well. So another jewel. Tap. I think we can tinker here, draw, or go get another Metamorph since our time vault's gone. So we'll tinker away, get a Metamorph, copying the jewel, and draw 3 more. Pick up another jewel, so we can go again if we want to. But now we have enough counter magic in our hand that it doesn't really matter. So no reason to get too crazy with it. Do have a Saga in hand as well, so we have a clock if we need it. But he does only have 1 card left in his library. He's going to flip it. We're going to show him the Force of Will, and he's going to scoop it up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.